to serve you, Lord, without second guessing you. Make me strong, oh Lord. Even in my weakness, I will give you all my praise. In you I find rest. No, no, no enemy can pull me down. No, no, I'll always be with you. No, no, no enemy can pull me down. No, no, I'll always be with you. I refuse to fail you, Lord, because you never fail me. I refuse to fail you, Lord. I refuse. Oh, you died for my sins and delivered me from hell. Would you like begin? Now my mind is made up. I will live for you alone. For you lift me up. No, no, no enemy will pull me down. No, no, I'll always be with you. No, no, no enemy can pull me down. No, no, I'll always be with you. I refuse to feel you, Lord, because you never fail me. I refuse. I refuse. Heaven is my destination. Heaven is my destination. Heaven is my destination. Heaven, heaven is my destination. Heaven is my destination. Heaven is my destination. Heaven. I refuse. Because you never fail me. I refuse to fail you, Lord. Refuse. I won't fail you, Lord. I won't fail you, Lord. I refuse. I refuse to fail you. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, we gotta praise God. I'm resting my voice. I'm trying not to sing. So I played one of my new songs. It's called I Refuse. You can stream it anywhere. And it's in some stores and 150 places. So your favorite streaming place, you could go and stream it on Amazon, Spotify, Deezer. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on other radio stations on the internet. God is good. Okay. I got some juicy things to teach you today. I got some nuggets. I put 2 good nuggets on my Facebooks, on my blogs, and on my Patreon. So y'all need to go check it out. One is called I Am the Living Bread, which came down from heaven. It tells you the truth about communion. When you read it, you will learn the truth about communion, and you will never take another cracker or juice again. So go to my Facebooks, Prophetic Mantle and Rosalind Solomon. Or if you're on Patreon, go to Patreon. Or go to my blogs, www.get-to-heaven.com or prophetessrosalindsolomon.blogspot.com, and read it. And then I got another one about your kids. It's a serious nugget. When Daddy let me have it, I was like, Daddy, that's a serious nugget. It's called Here's Some More Knowledge. Hey, Travis, go make sure you check them out on my blogs or my Facebook or my Patreon. You will never take another cracker or piece of bread or juice again for communion. When you find out what the communion really is. All right. Yeah, it's been out since the 18th, since yesterday. It's everywhere. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a video in a couple of weeks too. So I'm going to have a new video out soon, music video. I don't know which song I'm going to do the video to. I'm thinking about The Way to Heaven or one of the other ones. I'm not sure. All right, I'm about to teach y'all something about money that's going to knock your socks off. So, gentlemen, make sure you got your belts buckled tight. Women, make sure you got your skirts zipped up, okay? Because I'm about to tell you something about money and then about debt. You're going to be like, what? When I first learned it, I was like, Daddy, are you serious? All right, so here we go. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray that everybody can comprehend and understand this. It's only 36 people on here. I don't know where these 1,500 and some people been the last couple of times I've been on here. They've been coming in the archives. Okay. So whoever is going to hear this will hear it in the archives because I notice a lot of people get it in the archives. Okay, so now here we go. Hold on, I gotta get this thing. 1 second. I'm coming, y'all. Hold on. I love the fact that I could just come on here with a mic. I don't got to get dressed up all the time because sometimes I don't be feeling like getting dressed up. Sometimes I just want to stay in my pajamas. I'm in my pajamas and I want to stay in my pajamas. I'm going to stand in the house today. I'm supposed to go outside, but it's thundering and raining like crazy. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm chilling. All right, so here we go. I'm going to teach you how the power of money, how money has power, okay, and so forth. So listen to this. Thank you. You adorable too. I looked at one of your videos. I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Juice. I went to look at your video on Facebook. I thought I had a baby voice, Juice. Your voice is even more babyier than mine. And I was like, she's so cute. And she has her dreads, her little locks. I was like, she's so cute. Doing her little videos, talking about her and her husband. I even heard you talk about me. You gave me a shout out. All right, now, here we go. In order for you to effectively use the power of money to live a happy life, you have to understand and understand what money is on a deeper level. One of the first things that you have to understand about money is that it is a measurement of choices. You hear me, guys? Money is a measurement of choices. Hashtag that. Let me see somebody hashtag that because I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Money is a measurement of choice. Nobody's not going to hashtag that. Nobody's not going to participate. Pound. Thank you. Somebody participated. Okay, there's some more. There's some more. There's some more. All right. Now, did you know by me telling y'all to hashtag that and type it in, by you typing it in, that gives you more power of understanding. Do you know when someone tells you to hashtag this or hashtag that, what they're basically telling you is to type it or write it down or share it, because the more you type it and write it, the more you share it, the more knowledge and power comes from it. Did y'all know that? See, Daddy is giving me some serious knowledge that he ain't never gave me before. And I'm trying to help y'all out here. So the next time when y'all be on a Periscope or something, and somebody giving y'all prophecy, and they tell you put the number 2 in it or the number 22 in there. Every time somebody puts the 2 or the 22 in it, you bring more power to the individual that's talking to you, because they're going to lead you up to asking for a donation. You didn't know that, did you? When you go on these scopes and stuff and they tell you it's somebody who believe that put in 1, somebody believe that put in 9, somebody believe that put in 22, and then right after that they hit you with a donation and y'all all ready to do it. It's called magic word power. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that? Uh-huh. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that? So the next time you watching a prophet or a preacher or something, and they tell you, if you believe what I say or agree, type in 1 or 2. You better not do it, because they setting you up with the power of words to get you to donate. How many of you realize that after you put those numbers in, the donation come, and y'all be running to the PayPal and the Cash App? So from now on, when these prophets and ministers do that to you on this Periscope and YouTube, if you don't want to be sucked into donating at that time or sowing the seed, or God not leading you, don't type the number in. Now, when you hear a preacher or a pastor telling you type in amen or amen, that's a good thing, because what they're doing is they're telling you to give God praise. So when you do that, that means everybody's coming together giving God praise. So when I just told y'all the hashtag a measurement of choices, that gave you guys more knowledge to understand what I'm about to tell y'all. God is giving apostles some serious knowledge here that I ain't never heard before. It's out there. I know others have it, but I'm saying I never heard it. God never gave it to me until now. All right, so here we go. Whenever you use money to buy something, you are making a choice and telling the universe that God created that you support that choice. Every choice that you make affects the world to a certain degree. So, when you decide to sow to this ministry or another ministry or church, that means you made a choice, and you're telling the universe that you agree with this ministry, or you agree with this whatever ministry, or you agree with whatever church you go into. When you give money to orphanages or let's see, homeless places, food banks, you are telling the universe that you support freely feeding others and helping others. Now, when you use your money to buy drugs, cigarettes, liquor, fake hair, makeup, crazy clothes, tight clothes, hair dye, all that stuff, you are telling the universe that you believe in these products that are made of the enemy and not of God. So the universe is going to react to you. See, you need to understand that we are attached to everything, not just the earth. We are attached to the universe as well, because we are citizenships of heaven. So if you are citizenships of heaven, then that means you are a child of God. And God is connected to everything because he made it. So we are connected to everything too, unseen and seen. The universe watches us. Now, when you use money to buy grown food, conventional, y'all, how many of y'all know what conventional grown food is? I want to see a show of hands, because I want to make sure you guys understand this before I go any further. How many of you know what conventional grown food is? Okay, that's one person that doesn't know. Does anybody know what conventional grown food? Come on now, y'all eat the food every day and y'all don't know what it is. Guys, shame on you. Come on now, y'all eat the food every day. You know the food that you go to the grocery store and you buy? You know, do you guys know the food that you go to the grocery store and buy? If it's not organic, if it's not an organic store or organic food, then it is conventional grown food. It's food grown with GMOs and contamination. That's the food. No, it's not just processed food. It's conventional grown food, lettuce, tomatoes, meats and stuff that's conventionally grown with GMOs and contamination, which is what everybody's eating every day. Okay, so now you know what you're eating. So now you are making a choice and telling the universe that you support that choice. Now, it is important to know that conventional grown food is often treated with pesticides, herbicides, and other environmental toxins. Furthermore, a large percentage of conventional grown food is contaminated with GMOs. So if you go to, okay, like we got Kroger's down here. They have conventional grown food, but they also have organic food. You go to Walmart. Walmart has conventional food and they have some organic food because it tells you if it's organic or not, right? But if let's say you go to Piggly Wiggly, because they got Piggly Wigglies down here in Virginia, most of their food is conventional food. If you go to Aldi's, most of their food is organic food. If you go to Publix, most of their food is organic food. If you go to ShopRite, that's back home in Jersey, most of their food is conventional food, but they do have organic food. So conventional food is food sold in the average supermarket that doesn't have organic grade food or has a small portion of organic grade food. Okay? So now, because of these things in the food, when you use your money to buy these conventional grown foods instead of organically grown foods, you are subconsciously or unconsciously subconsciously or unconsciously or consciously telling the universe that you support the contamination of the environment. So if you don't buy organic food and you buy conventional grown food, you're telling the universe that you agree with the contamination that they are putting in our food. So therefore, your body will be contaminated. The universe will not protect you. How many of you know God uses the universe to protect us? God uses the earth to protect us. How many of you guys know this? This is some serious stuff. Y'all, we have to learn our daddy. We have to learn our God. And we have to learn that we are connected to everything, and everything that we are connected to is supposed to protect us. But if we are living in our own will, then they can't protect us. So when you're buying this conventionally grown food, you are saying to the universe that you subconsciously or consciously agree with the contamination food, so you buy it. Yeah, you can pray on your food. That's true. But you're telling the universe that you rather have this contaminated food than get organically grown food. And it's some why do you think organic food is more expensive? If you go to any other country, their organic food is cheaper than the contaminated food, like the McDonald's. The I lived in Europe 3 years in Germany. Also went to other places when I was in Europe because it was cheap to travel because of my husband when he was alive. And all the food was organic. You would go out and get your food, especially in Italy. You go out every day and get fresh food every day. In these European countries, they do have the Mickey D's and all that stuff now. But back then, you would go and get your food every day or every couple of days, and you would cook your food. These foreign countries, a lot of them don't have a lot of stuff that we have. Yeah, they got the Mickey D's and all of that, but a lot of them, the Mickey D's and the Burger King and eating out in the restaurants is more expensive than their organic food. But in America, to eat out is cheaper, and to buy conventionally grown contaminated food is cheaper than organic food. Most people can't afford organic food. Especially if you're a mother on welfare or you're on employment or you on a strict income, you cannot buy organic food. Everybody's not blessed to have their own backyard to grow food. Everybody's not blessed to have their own backyard to grow food. And our country has made it that way so that most people can have contaminated food. And like I said, you can pray over it, but the universe, although you praying over what you doing, I'm gonna tell you exactly what you're doing. When you pray over it, you're just saying, Father, take the blood of Yeshua, go through the food, remove anything that's not of you, make it clean so I can eat it. And God's going to do that. But you're still telling the universe, I'm going to buy this food, although I know it's contaminated. You're still telling the universe that. So what you need to pray over your food from now on is this. If you cannot afford to get organic food, or you don't have a backyard where you could grow your own food, and you have to buy this genetically grown, contaminated, conventional food, you just pray, Father, in the name of Yeshua Jesus, I know that this could be conventional food. I know that it could have GMOs in it, pesticides, herbicides, and other environmental toxics in this food. But Father, right now, this is all I can deem to get until you improve my life financially where I can buy organic foods or you give me a house to grow my own food. So for now, I ask you to please cover it in the blood of Yeshua Jesus. And I also ask you to allow the universe to excuse me from buying the contaminated food because I don't agree with the contamination. It is what I can honor now until you can improve me financially to get me organic food. Everybody should be eating organically grown food or growing your own food if you have a house to do that. People need to stop eating this GMO food, these pesticide foods, these herbicide foods, and these environmental toxic food. You need to stop eating it because I stopped eating it. I'm eating better now. You know, that's why I gained so much weight. That's why we gain weight, guys, because of GMO, pesticides, herbicides, and all the stuff they put in it, and the toxins they put in it. So you pray, just be like, God, bless me to be able to afford to buy organic food. Bless me with a house to grow my own food. Or if you have a house, ask God to bless your soil so that you can grow your own foods. And pray over your meats and everything else that you buy from now on. But your main goal is to get off of the conventional food and get on the organic food or start growing your own food. I just said that about meat. We can't grow our own meat. So if you eat meat, you have to pray over it. I just gave you a prayer to pray over it. If you didn't hear it, come back and listen when this is finished. All right. So now, today, most people are buying conventional food rather than organic food. In other words, they are choosing conventional food over organic food. Because of this, they are using money to support the conventional food industry, giving this industry the financial power to harm you. This is why they're able to put the GMOs, the pesticides, the herbicides, and environmental toxins in the food and getting rich off of doing it is because man is allowing them by buying the food. If man stops buying this contaminated food, they would go belly up. But nobody's going to stop because it's cheaper than organic. They purposely made organic food expensive in our country so that people will buy the conventional food with all the toxins in it. This is why our children are obese. This is why obesity runs rapid in this country. This is why people have all types of sickness and illness because of GMOs. So when you pray, you ask God to remove the GMOs, remove the pesticides, remove the herbicides, remove the environmental toxins in the food. Just don't ask him to cover the food with the blood. Ask him to remove these things with the blood out of your food. And pray for your children, even if they don't live with you, they grown. You can still cover their food. I do it all the time. God taught me to do that for my children. You could do it for your grandchildren. You could do it for your whole doggone family if you choose to, because God told me you could, until they learn how to do it themselves. The blood is for anybody who accepts the Messiah. And right now, you may be the only deliverer in your family. So therefore, you got to pray for your family until they come into the knowledge themselves. You know what I'm saying? All right. So by you praying over your food, right? That has by you praying over the conventional food, which has parasites, herbicides, and other environmental toxins and GMO, right? By you praying over that food and asking God to remove that, that means that you're not coming in agreement anymore with the conventional food industry that's harming you with these environmental parasites and herbicides and toxins and GMOs. You're no longer coming in agreement with them. So therefore, the universe will be in agreement with you then, and the universe will protect you from such things. Because God deems the universe to protect us because we are citizens of heaven. We are part of God. So everything is part of God. So everything is part of us. Okay? So now, by financially supporting the conventional food industry, people are supporting the pollution of the environment. As the environment becomes more polluted with toxins, people become sick more often, causing them to be unhappy. So by them putting these things in our food, it is to harm you, it is to make you unhappy, and it is to make you sick. This is why this world is so off balance. Because how many of you know life is in the blood? Life is in our blood. So anything we eat and goes in our system, it mingles with our bloods. It may not directly go in our blood like a needle with medicine, but the food can intermingle with your blood and make you get sick and die. This is why so many people catching cancer like crazy, and they catching a new kind of cancer. You know what I'm saying? And they keep saying they ain't got no cure for cancer. They got a cure for cancer. Trust me. They don't want it because they want people to die. Okay, they remember Georgia Guidestones, 500 million people. That's what they want because that's what they can control. They can't control 7.8 billion people or more like we have. Okay, so now, besides being a measure of choice, besides money being a measure of choice, money is the physical representation of your time and your energy. In so many words, money is a symbol of your own labor. So when you go to work to make money, you think you're going to work to make money to take care of yourself. That may be one aspect, but you really going to work to labor for your money, because when you labor for money as a human being, as a creation of God, you also bring time and energy to the enemy. Money, let's see, money's not evil, but the mammoth idol that is over the money is evil. So therefore, it makes money evil. But when you get money, and that's why I tell you guys all the time, pray over your money. Pray when you get paid, you know. Pray if you find money. Pray if somebody give you money. Pray over your digital money. Your credit cards with your digital money, your debit card. You must pray over your money. You must always say, Father, I cover this money in the blood of Yeshua Jesus. And I cut off any energy from my labor to receive this money that the enemy is drawing from me. The enemy can no longer draw from my labor or labor of making this money to draw energy from me anymore. I refuse it. I reject it. I rebuke it. I terminate it. I kill it at the root. I kill it, the seed of it with the blood. I don't agree with it. I did not give my consent to it, and I did not oath to it knowingly. So I cancel it right now with the mighty blood of Yeshua Jesus. That's going to free your money. This is why people have financial woes, financial issues, because demonic stuff is attached to the money. You guys say, I rebuke that mammoth that they put over this money. I rebuke him. I cancel him out. He has no jurisdiction over any money or digital money or anything that comes into my being. You guys have to say this prayer. Don't think because I'm saying it. Y'all have to say it for yourself. Don't be like I receive that. You need to say it for yourself. So come back and listen to it. You just can't cover your money with the blood of Yeshua Jesus. You have to literally say, I rebuke and cut my money and labor off from the spirit of mammoth to draw energy from my money. Sometimes you got to plead the blood and more. Now, because money is a measurement of choice and it's a symbol of your time and energy, it can be used to control your mind and your energy. This is why money is also known as currency, which is phenomenally a currency, like I taught y'all the other day. To explore this, we're going to explore this right now. Now, to understand why currency has a strong connection to energy, I'm going to teach you why money is so powerful, why people die for money, why people kill for money, why a father will kill his son over money, why a wife will kill her husband over his inheritance. I'm going to tell you why money is so powerful. For one, the false god mammoth is over it, okay? And two, money is a spirit on its own. Although it's paper and it's digital, it still carries a spirit in it. Why do you think they put the dead presidents on there, okay? All them dead presidents were all Illuminatis, okay? They were also either Scottish Rites or Knight Templars. They all served Lucifer. Every last one of them. So this is why their face is on the money. As long as these dead presidents' money faces on the money, it draws demonic currency to the money. How many of you understand that? Let me see a show of hands. How many of you understand that? Let me see a show of hands. How many of you understand what I just spoke to you guys? On the unction of the Holy Spirit. Okay, Monique got it. Okay. All right, good. So, this is why money is powerful. And there's another reason why they got dead presidents on the money. And I'm going to tell you that. So now, like I said, to understand why currency has a strong connection to energy, you need to find the occultic meaning of the word money. The occultic people are behind the word money, okay? So now, and currency. To do this, you need to rely on the art of homophones and separate the word currency into two words, like I did for you the other day. So now, when spoken aloud, the word currency sounds similar to the term currency. What does a current do in a river? It flows or it runs to the sea. Now, keep in mind that the Latin word currens, currens, means to run. So the word current means a flowing flow as of a river or something that flows as a stream. The flowing movement of currents is what causes the fresh water in the river to flow to the sea. Once the fresh water is in the sea, its currents are now part of the current of the sea or the current of the sea. Now, the term currency / currents - sea. Okay? So they took the word current, current dash the C, SEA, and that's where the derivative of the word currency comes from. So what does money do, guys? Doesn't money flow through here? Doesn't money, thank you for the super hearts. Doesn't money flow through the world, guys? Doesn't money flow through your bank accounts? Doesn't money flow through your savings account? Doesn't money flow through your hands? Your money floats from hand to hand. So your money is floating like a sea, like a currency. And that's where the word currency comes from the currency. Okay? So now, the word currency also sounds similar to the term current chai. Current chai, CHI. In Chinese, the word chai, CHI, means life force or energy flow. How many of y'all ever took chai seeds? I've had chai seeds. If you put chai seeds in your food, it gives you energy. That's why it's called chai seeds. So the Chinese, the word chai means the life force or energy flow. So money means chai, life force or energy flow. Based on the definition, thus far, the word currency was astronomically means flow of life force and energy. In other words, currency is a medium for exchanging or transferring life from energy. Corporate, now this gonna really knock y'all out because it did me when Daddy let me to learn that. Corporations. We all know what a corporation is. It is a condominant corporation of multiple entities, or it could be one single entity, right? Or affinity, a currency. So the word corpse, CRPS. Now, when someone dies, they're a corpse. They're CRPESES. This is where they get the word corporation, because most corporations on this earth are really dead entities. So this is why they call businesses corporation, because basically the occult is saying to the world, these corporations are dead entities, and I'm going to prove it to you. All right. So corpse/corpse cannot produce life force energy. So they need the medium called money to transfer life force energy to them, allowing them to use currency to discharge or change their debt, which is dead. If people are not spending money, let's say we're gonna use McDonald's for an example. I don't deal with McDonald's. I don't eat that stuff. But I'm in years, but I'm saying there had to be one McDonald's that started out. Every big company has had to have one business before they got big. So McDonald's had one McDonald's in the 1940s or 50s, right? How did that McDonald's grow to a multi-billion-dollar business? How is it that people can pay $1 million or more to buy individual franchise and pay McDonald's a million and some change or more for their name? See, the person's not buying the McDonald's itself. They're buying a building and they're paying McDonald's, which is a branded billion-dollar name. So they're paying to use their ways. They're also paying to use their structure in their business. So people buy a building, they come in and they hire somebody to structurate the building to look like how McDonald's would look in the first McDonald's. And they buy the machines and the grills and all that McDonald's uses to be successful. And then they slap the name McDonald's on the building because they pay for the branded name and structure. So how does a company get that big? I'm going to tell you. Because they started out with one company. And people came in buying the food, and they liked the food, and they liked it so much. Another McDonald's came. And then they liked it so much, another McDonald's came. And then they liked it so much, a corporation of McDonald's came. Then they liked it so much, they said, let's brand our name and our structure. So people will pay us millions of dollars when they buy a building and slap our name on it and our structures in it. So this is how a company becomes a corporation. But what is being utilized the whole time in these companies? Money. What is making these companies popular? What is making them grow to corporations, which are dead corpse? Money. If you did not have the currency of money flowing in the businesses, it would never become a corporation from the get-go. If you stop eating at McDonald's right now, the whole world, even though there were billions of dollars, they would lose billions of dollars in a matter of days. Their stock would crash if people would stop spending their labor and energy money going in there to buy it. Okay? How many of y'all get what I just said? This is knowledge from the Holy Spirit. I love my room. How many of you get what I just taught you? I want to make sure. See, when I teach you guys, I want to make sure you guys understand me. Good. Hey, Brother Mary. Is that Brother Mary? Good. All right. So, this is why corporations are dead corpse. Because if we stop spending our money, meaning stop spending our money that we labor for, and put energy in the money because we labor for it, if we stop spending money in these corporations, they would die. They already dead. So they only exist off of the energy and the labor of money that mankind has made. This is the only reason why these businesses survive. The only reason why the IRS survives is because we have to pay taxes. If it comes a day and we don't have to pay taxes, the IRS will collapse. Our salaries is paying the IRS people. Every person who works for IRS, our taxes are paying them. If the president one day says, I'm going to abolish the IRS, they would collapse. There'll be no more taxes. They claim they need our tax money to fix our communities, to fix our streets. The devil's a liar. Every natural resource, concrete, wood, whatever it is they use, is a natural resource that was grown from the earth. So why do you need money to go and get something that's free that God gave you already? You don't need tax money to fix streets. What they need tax money for is to pay the people to do the labor. You get it? They need the money and the energy to pay the laborers to fix the streets. Because the resources they use are natural. It's all a setup, guys. So now, it is important to know that corporations such as banks and governments are dead entities. Because they are dead entities, they have no power to charge currency with electrical current. In other words, they cannot give value to money because they do not have the power to charge it with the flow of energy. Corporations can only create debt because they are dead entities. Debt is dead. Unlike corporations, living men and women have the power to create electric currents and currency, and therefore are the true creditors. We are the true creditors. Without us, these companies would not survive. Without us, these companies would fall. Without us, these corporations would fold. We are the ones that have the electric currency because we are the ones that labor for the money. And when you labor for the money, it creates electricity within you. So when you labor for the money and you touch the money, the electricity current that is in you transfers to your currency. And it makes your money viable. Your money would not be viable if you yourself never labor for it or work for it. This is why when the Antichrist rises, money will be worthless. Because man will not have the power that they have now, because the Antichrist will take the power from man. This is why your money will mean nothing. The only reason why gold and silver may still be viable is because God created that. He didn't create the paper money. Man created the paper money with the ability of the gold and silver to back it up. So when the Antichrist comes, your money will be worthless because he will take all the energy from you. He will make you labor for him, and he will not pay you. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Let me see a show of hands. Do you understand what I'm saying in this part? Only one person? Two? Anybody else? Okay. I'm just making sure you guys understand. So this is why your money will be worthless. This is why it will take you a whole week's pay to pay for some bread and oil when the Antichrist rises, because he will suck all the energy out of everybody that follows him. You will labor for him and he will not pay you a dime. Now, the dead side of money is debt. This is the dead. See, money, paper money is alive, and digital money is alive because of us. If everybody decided to stop spending money, to stop using their credit cards, their debit cards, their paper currency, money would be dead. By keeping people in debt, it makes money two-sided. It makes money a living, breathing mechanism because you're using the money to get in debt. And when you get in debt, you kill the money because you have a heavy burden on your back, which is debt. Nobody on this planet is supposed to be in debt. God told me that. But the way this falsified system is set up, they put us in debt because debt is to be dead. And we are dealing with dead entities. We are dealing with dead corporations. We are dealing with the occult, which are dead people in God's eyes. So money can give you life because you give it life. Money only has life because of you, because of the human beings. But you kill money when you go into debt. And they keep that debt on you to make you a slave and to keep you dead. Do you realize when they make you a debt slave, you are literally dead in the spiritual realm? This is why people can never get money, because they carry debt. People don't want to pay their credit cards. Men don't want to pay child support. People don't want to pay their bills. People go and run up high credit cards and don't pay them. You borrow money, you don't pay it back. You borrow money from a family member, you promise to pay it back. See, the Bible says we're not supposed to borrow. We're not supposed to loan. We're supposed to give it away. But if you, with your choice words, say, okay, I cannot get this to you, but I can loan this to you, and the person agrees with you, then that's an oath and a covenant and consent by that person to pay you back. So therefore, it becomes a debt. So if they don't pay you back, it becomes a sin. And then if it becomes a sin, then Satan can come in and take whatever finances they have and whatever else they supposed to get and keep them in poverty. And it becomes a generational curse until somebody grows up in God and learn the truth and rebuke it and cancel it and live right and pay their bills and do right unto God with tithing and sowing. Then that's when the money can come back into the bloodline. Did you catch what I just said, my people? Did you just catch what I said, my people of God? I see one person did. I see one person did. All right. So now I bet you'll start paying your bills now, won't you? Look, go over your credit report. Pay them outstanding bills, or get them in, if you don't have money to pay them, then get them in deferment. Like your student loan, you can get your student loan into deferment, meaning that 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 your bills will your loan will be deferred into a S amount of time. You can either pay the interest or not, but your bill never goes up. And it, let's say it's 50 grand, it's gonna stay that way, but as long as you pay the interest on it, it'll never go up. But if you don't pay the interest on it, every year there's some forbearance, you're going to have to eventually pay that. And after I think 20 something or 30 something years, you could get it wiped out, because I got 2 student loans wiped out. I got one left, but I had two or three that I got wiped out before. And I have one left that's only like 7 years old. And if you're a clergy person, you could get you can there's ways of getting it wiped out. It's hard, but it's ways of doing it, because I tried it and they wouldn't let me. If you're a teacher, you a doctor, a nurse, it's different ways of getting it wiped out, or some of it wiped out, you know. But as long as you have a student loan on you, you are carrying dead debt. So you have to pray like I did. Father, in the name of Jesus, give me the money to pay this debt off. Give me the money. And until you give me the money, I cut covenants and soul ties with this debt, with this student loan debt. So it cannot affect my life financially at all, in Yeshua's name. And that's exactly what will happen. So now, the dead side of money is debt, which is being dead. The living side of money is currency. So we know currency is the living side. Currency means for money to flow through, like flowing through the sea, like a river flows through the sea. As long as water is flowing through the sea is alive. As long as water is flowing through the sea and we are able to get water to drink, although the water has to be refined and purified for us to drink, to take the salt out of it. So as long as water is flowing, water can live, the earth can live, we can live, right? So when currency, which is currency C, flowing, as long as money is flowing, people can live, because they made this money based off they made how we live based off of money. You can't eat if you don't have money to buy food. You can't drink water or juice or whatever if you don't have money to buy that. You can't put on clothes if you don't have money to buy clothes. You can't wear shoes. You can't do nothing if you don't have money, because they made it that way. They made it where we have no choice but to use money, labor for money, and put our electricity energy that God gave us into the money, because they made it where we cannot function or live on this earth without money. They made money in the position where they made money more powerful than man itself. How many of you realize that? They've made money more powerful than man itself. We, as the man and women of God, are supposed to be more powerful than anything on this planet. But they made money, silver, and gold, jewels and diamonds more powerful than we are. This is what the occultic people did. This is what the occultic people did to us. They made money the number one power on this earth, because without it, you can't survive. So what God in turn has done, since the occultic people that work for the devil made money more powerful than mankind, God made a way to utilize money to make us powerful within their own faulty system. He makes us rich in the spirit realm first. And then eventually it'll manifest on the earth if you live right. If you pay your bills, you pay your tithes, and you sow. When you don't pay your weekly tithes, and when you don't do a weekly sowing, you are putting debt on you to God. Because when you miss a week without tithing, and you miss a week without paying a seed somewhere, you are making debt in the spiritual realm. When you tithe every week or sow a seed every week, you are making a karma account in the heavens. You are filling it up. So on your rainy days, or something happened, or someone in your family is in need of something, God's going to take care of it. My daughter got into a car accident 2 weeks after she had the baby. It totaled her car. She only had liability because the full coverage was too expensive for her. And so forth like that. So what happened was she had to pay $4,000 to get the car fixed. I had to help her pay her rent, right? Because she's on maternity leave, but she can't get no money because of how things is with the unemployment. And she don't go back to work till the first week of May. So I said, God, she needs her car to get around. She had an old lawsuit that she been waiting for money for years and wasn't expecting it. I prayed. I said, God, either give me the $4,000 or let her get it, because she needs the car to get around with the babies. Do you know that lawsuit went through, and she about to get her car? That lawsuit been sitting for 4 years. 4 long years with no intentions of being released to her. Do you know it was released to her? And why was it released to her? Because her mother works for God. Her mother pays her bills. Her mother pays her bills. Her mother tithes every week. Her mother sows every week. Did you know when you obey God and you pay your bills and you do your tithing and sowing where you're being fed at, it covers your family? It says it in the Bible. When you are supposed to living for God and you ain't living right, and ain't none of your kids and family members living right, they all gonna suffer like dominoes because of you. Because He made you the deliverer of the family to bring up other deliverers in the family. So how can God get other deliverers in your family? They look at you, they watch you, they see you living good, they see you paying your bills, they see you tithing, sowing, they see you living right, they see you helping people, they know you pray, you love God, all you talk about is God. When they see you living right, I don't care how many years it'll take, eventually they will become deliverers of God. They will become disciples of God. But the moment you mess up with God, the moment you do wrong, God can lose your whole generation based off of you. And you will suffer for every soul that is lost because you messed up. Bet you'll see God a different way after this teaching. And money and debt. Because I'm almost finished. Now, so the dead side, I explained to you, the dead side of money is debt. And the living side of money is currency. This is why God says in the Bible that his children won't have to beg or borrow. So if you're a true child of God, you'll never have to beg or borrow because God knows to beg is a sin and to borrow is a sin. But sometimes he will allow you to borrow when need be because of the faulty system that was set up in the earth, and he has no choice but to work around and in it. This is why the Bible says God's wealth has no sorrow, but man's wealth has sorrow. Why does man's wealth have sorrow? Because it's set up on a faulty financial currency rate and currency flow. God's money is set up on a good foundation, a righteous financial flow from the heavenly. So this is why his money never gives you sorrow. And this is why God raises up his people to be wealthy. See, when you hear these people tell you, oh, we ain't supposed to be wealthy. We ain't supposed to have no money. We supposed to suffer like Yah. Yah didn't suffer when he walked this earth. Yah was rich. Why you think they ripped his clothes before he got up on the Calvary? Because it was made of the finest silk. His father owned a carpentry business that was very lucrative. All the queens and chiefs' wives was throwing that money at him. He was so rich. Judas was stealing from him every week, and he knew it. Jesus was not no pauper. When it was only when he went up on the cross, when Yeshua went up on the cross, he became poor for us. He had to leave his riches behind for us. If he would have took his riches and took them to heaven, we wouldn't have been able to get no riches until we got to heaven. So he had to leave the riches here so we can get them down here. And daddy got the riches in the heaven. So when we get to heaven, God give us them. So don't let anybody tell you Yeshua was poor, because he wasn't poor at all. He was not poor at all. He could have fed them 7,500 people that God fed with the fish and the loaves. But God chose to do that because God wanted to manifest his power. So say this prayer with me. Yeshua, all the wealth and riches you left behind for me, allow me to collect the treasures that the Ruach is over. Allow me to have the very same wealth spiritually and physically and naturally when you walk this earth. You said I would do better things than you. Then allow me to have the riches you had and more to do better things than you on this earth. Sealed to infinity with the bloody Yeshua Jesus. You better have said that prayer point. Now, all men and women have the power to produce electric current, flow of electrical energy. Why do we have the power to have electric currency in us? Because we are electric beings. We are spiritual electric beings. That's why. So now, in your body, therefore, you are the true creditor. On the other hand, corporations, banks, governments, etc., or corpse, meaning corpses, dead, and therefore are the true debtors, which are really, you want to know where the word debtor came from? It came from the word debtors. Deadors. Deadors. That's where debtors came from. Debtors. The power of words, I tell you. Can the dead, such as a corporation or a corpse or corpse, be the creditor of anything? No, because they're dead. They're dead. They're dead, guys. They can't be creditors. Only the living can be creditors. Like I said, if you stop spending your money in these places, then you would know that if you stop spending your money, then you would know that you are the live creditor and that these businesses are the dead the dead entities, the dead debtors, because without you, their businesses would have no life. Why do businesses go out of business, guys? Look, okay, I'm giving a good example. Look at this now. Look, the 500 million or whatever Trump gave for these businesses and corporations, or trillions, whatever he gave, right? They ran out of money last week. So now Congress is back on the negotiation table, negotiating, trying to come up with more money to give the rest of the businesses that couldn't get any help, right? So many businesses have filed bankruptcy. You have small airlines that filed bankruptcy. You have people, they showed on the news today here in Atlanta, or I mean in Georgia, or it was some other state, I don't know. But the line was so long. People was in their cars going to get food, and they had the military helping them distribute the food. The line was so long. It had so many cars. It was like the sand of the sea. And I said, God, I ain't never seen that many people lining for food. You couldn't even count them. Businesses are closed. They're making no money. Nobody's making no money. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? The businesses are closed because they can't afford to pay their employees. The employees are not working because they can't do their labor to earn their money. So what does that tell you? Money is meaninglessness, but we have the power of money. But they made it where money is more powerful than us. But we actually carry the power of money, because if we're not working and laboring to get it, there's no energy to be productive into the money to make it live. So now money is dead. Somebody on Facebook, a couple weeks ago and said, now look, your money's worthless. Your money means nothing. You don't have nowhere to spend it. You have no stores to go to, no restaurant to go to, no bar to drink it up with, no casino to drain it up with. You have nothing to do with your money. So your money is meaningless. Why? Because nobody is laboring to make the energy to put the life into the money. Do you get what I'm saying, my people? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? This is why we're in a recession, and this is why the stock market is going up and down, because the energy which comes from the human being from labor for the money is now at a standstill because nobody's working to bring the labor and the energy in. So this is why the stock market is going up and down. This is why we're in a recession. This is why the stock market collapsed. You see, you think that the government purposely collapse our country. They do, but they do it in an indirect way. What they do is they cause the currency flow of money to stop. How many of you know a river that has currency flowing through it? If they put up a wall long enough and big enough, the water will no longer have a currency to flow through because it's been blocked. So when the powers that should not be want to bring your nation down, they put up a wall to block your currency, to block your money. They cause collapses. They cause coronavirus. Okay? They lie to you and say millions of people are gonna die. Oh, yeah. They give you these masks to make you fear. They give you these rubber ducky gloves and none of it works. And they take the mind manipulation and mind control to control your mind, and they can collapse your economy. So they do it indirectly. And they do it with your permission, with your consent, with your oath, and with your covenant, because you agreed in the fear. You agreed to what they say. You believe they said a million and something would die when only 60 something thousand died. You believe when they say it was going to last for 6 months, like Bill Gates said, but then he turns around and say, yeah, by April or May, it'll be good. You believe them. You co-signed with them. You covenanted with their magic words. You covenanted with them and you gave them an oath. You said, I give you consent to believe your lies. And this is what has happened. Recession. Hungry people. Nobody working. Businesses collapsing. Bankruptcy. When we come out of this, life will be normal again, but things will never be the same. They have literally shift. Did not tell you God said, I told you last year that God said a shift was coming in our country. A shift was coming in our land. A shift was coming to all places on this earth. And they have literally shifted our earth and our beings and our way of life in the spiritual realm. They have shifted. Things will never be the same. Although normalcy will come back, it will take some time, but things will never be the same on this earth because of what the powers that should not be did to the world using magic words, money, and mind control. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? How many are you with me so far? Okay, cool. Now, I'm almost finished. I ain't even get to debt. I gotta do debt another day. Now, yes, that's the name of my song. I refuse. I got a song called I Refuse. Now, because corporations do not have the power to create electric current, they need the magic medium called money to transfer the electric current of living men and women to the rim of the sea, also known as the rim of commerce. You get it? You get it? They're leading you to spend your money in the sea. How are they leading you to spend your money in the sea? Because everything that comes into the countries on this earth, the majority of it, 75%, 80% of it comes through the rim of commerce, through the sea. So they made it where we have no choice but to put our money in the sea because everything that comes to us is imported. Some things are homegrown, it's true, but many things are imported. So whenever things are imported and they come across the rim of the commerce and they make dock on your land and you take it off the ship and you put it on there and it goes in different stores and we purchase it, we are putting our money in the sea. We're putting our money in the sea. Every country on this earth has something imported. Every country. There are some countries, everything like Hawaii, and Hawaii is so expensive because everything is imported. Some countries have no homegrown base. Hawaii is one of them. Everything is imported there. So some countries, they have no choice but to get imports. But everybody on the planet country has imports. Okay? So now, this allows corporations, which are dead corpse, to charge the debt to charge the dead with currency, similar to changing a dead battery with electrical energy, allowing the dead to stay in business or alive. Keep in mind that the dead is made up of corporations such as banks and governments. On the other hand, the living is made up of men and women. This is why banks go bankrupt. Banks have no power. Basically, banks are just a holding cell for your money. They made banks to where they could put your money in prison. See, we used to think saving money. I mean, we don't have no choice but to put money in the bank, especially if you a rich person or you make good money, hundreds of thousands or 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 a year, whatever, or you a millionaire. You have no choice but to put your money in the bank. You can't hide all your money in the house. You're going to run out of room. Okay, and people know you're rich, so you can't keep a lot of money in your house because they're gonna try and rob you. But you could dig it under the ground somewhere. You could put it in a Swiss account. You can put it in a private entity account. You can make a trust fund and put it under a dummy account name and hide it that way too. There's all kinds of ways to hide your money, but you need a bank. So banks are basically the holding cell of your money. You are giving the banks electricity by laboring for your money. However you do it, work, business, trade, borrow, invest, however you do it. When you put that money in the bank, you're saying, okay, this is what I labor for. You ever heard people say my sweat and blood is in my money? You ever heard that? My sweat and blood is in the money. You darn right, it's in the money. And your energy is in that money. So when you put that money in the bank, you give the bank energy. And you're consenting and you're saying to them, okay, I consent, I agree, and I oath and covenant with you to hold my money in your cell so that you could collect the energy from my money to keep your bank, which is a dead entity, going and make you rich. The bank rich, the bankers rich, the people who own the bank rich. That's all you're doing. Who thought of the banks? Rockefeller. Do your history on Rockefeller. They started them banks. They started them banks. Banks didn't exist until I think the 1920s or 30s or something like that. They started them banks. Now, okay, so this allows corporations, like I said, to charge the dead with the currency similar to charging a dead battery with electrical energy, allowing the dead to stay in business or alive. Keep in mind that the dead is made up of corporations such as banks and governments. Okay, now on the other hand, the living is made up of the men and women. So, us, the people who are of God, right? Those who we that are of God, whether and those who are not of God, but anybody that God created, we carry the life that gives money life, and we also carry the death of money, which is debt. So if people stop putting their money let's say, let's use Bank of America. If people stop putting their money in that bank and start taking their money out and going to other banks, what's going to happen? All the Bank of Americas are going to collapse because they have no money going through their currency. They have no money flowing through their system. So they will die. So that's letting you know they only alive because of the currency of the money that flows through us, that we labor for, that our energy is in. That's why they're dead entities. Now, because corporations need the electric current of living men and women to stay in business, whenever the corporation becomes destructive and greedy, one of the most effective actions that men and women can do to reduce the power of corporations by not supplying them with their electrical current, which is their currency. Men and women can easily do this by not using their money, currency, to buy products and services from greedy, destructive corporations. This is one of the most effective ways of diminishing the power of corporations without violent revelation. Revolting. How many times have we seen people picket movie stars, famous people, and other businesses, and they collapse? The movie star no longer gets movies. The singer no longer gets concert. The business stops. The flow stops, and they collapse. And why? It's because somebody protested. Who protested? A human. So that's showing you the power that we have over money. But they try to make you think money is more powerful than you. Y'all know how many of you seen these stars business go down the tank? We seen it last year. Look at all the people who went against homosexuals in the past 2 years. Career destroyed. It happened to Kim Burrell. Y'all remember Kim Burrell? She ain't came back from that yet. How many of y'all remember her? And remember some of these famous people who we don't even see anymore because their career was destroyed by a human being. Their finances were taken. They lost everything because of a human being. How many of you can attest to this? How many of y'all have lost jobs because of another human being's voicing energy against you? How many of you have quit and ran from a job because of witches, which are humans, energy voicing against you? That shows you we had the power like God gave us. But they done dummy people down, mind control, and they make you think that they are more powerful than you when they're not. And they make you think that money's more powerful than you when money is dead. The dead cannot be over the living. That's what the Bible says, but the living can be over the dead. When people die, and God used people to pray. And the person come back to life. Why? Because the life can bring the dead back. And that's what we doing when we giving money to these corporations and banks. And they made it this way where we have no choice but to keep them alive. But one day the entire system, God told me, one day the entire system is going to collapse. And when it collapses, the world will collapse. Remember that. Now, when you really think about it, money is the magic medium that is used for the living and the dead to do business with each other. Bible says the living has no business with the dead. See, so they're forcing us in sin without us even knowing it. They're forcing us in covenant and soul tie without us even knowing it. They're forcing us to give our consent and oath to deal with the dead. So pray this with me. Father, in the name of Yeshua Jesus, our eyes have been woken. We now see we have been going against your word and going against you by dealing with the dead. We now see we've been giving life to the dead that we shouldn't be giving life to. But they have put us in a position, Father, where we have no choice. And there's nothing we can do about it. Only you can intervene on this, Father. So we ask you to excuse us and forgive us. But excuse us in the spiritual realm. Let the blood cover us so the enemy cannot accuse us for dealing with his dead kingdom and doing business with his dead kingdom, because they set it up where we have no choice. We won't be able to live unless we live miraculously like the Israelites did in the wilderness. And that depends on your will and your trust and your ways in Yeshua's name. But until you do such things, Father, excuse us from this and bless us in Yeshua's name. And in the will of you, Father, stop our energy from flowing to the dead in the best way that you can possibly do it, because it is not in our control. We ask you this, Father, to excuse us and to forgive us and to cover us from now on, because we are aware of the truth. And all our dealings now, we are covered with the blood of Yeshua Jesus to infinity. Now, when money is used by the living and the dead to do business with each other in a harmonious way, in an honorable manner, the result is great prosperity and business. However, when money is used for greed, selfishness, and other destructive desires, it often leads to poverty and economic disasters. So, the reason why we have economic disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, the reason why God has been like tearing up stuff the past since 2015, basically, a lot. I mean, he did it before, but it's been really bad the past 5 years, is because the living is doing business with the dead, but they're doing it in greed and selfishness and destructive desires. So therefore, it is causing poverty to many people in the world. Many people are starving. Many people are homeless. This is why California cannot come from under their judgment, because they have more homeless people than anybody on the planet, and they are the most expensive place to live in America. Now you know why they get judged so much, because their greediness, their destructive desires, and their selfishness. And it has caused poverty to their land to the point where they are number one in the world for the most home, even more than Africa. And Africa is bigger than California. That's why I say anybody live in California, you need to ask God if you should move. If he tell you to stay, you stay. He gonna take care of you. But you need to ask God, because that place is gonna, that judgment gonna get worse for them until they get right. Till they get right. So this is why we're having disasters, hurricanes, and some of these storms are from the power that be, because the Father told me when the powers that be want to bring down a state, because that state does not want to be in communion with them anymore, because that state government does not want to apply to them anymore, they send a hurricane or a bad earthquake to destroy that state. And then that state has to depend on the government to be brought back. You get it? This is why the weather machine was created, to keep states and countries under the influences of the powers that should not be. So some of these catastrophic events are from the powers that should not be, but most of them are from God. God will attack your state. God will attack your community. God will attack your country to bring you financially down because of your destructive desires, your greed, and your selfishness. I told y'all in my book, Prophecy Past, Present, and Future, that's on Amazon. Insurance companies are going to collapse. They're going to run out of business because it's going to be so much destruction. They're not going to be able to handle these claims. Unemployment is going to collapse one day in the future. Welfare is going to be vanquished one day in the future. Heck, unemployment is already collapsing. People can't even get on it. 20 million people. That's historical. So the prophecy is beginning to happen. Okay? Now, when today most of the living and the dead are not using money in harmonious ways or in honorable manners. The irresistible act has manifested to too many harmful and toxic products. Furthermore, it has manifested to too much debt into the economy, causing death and destruction throughout the world. It is important to know that it takes two, the living and the dead, to create chaotic mess. Therefore, many women have little credibility to point fingers at the corporation and vice versa. Now, if you want to create a better place to live for you and your children and mankind, and reduce the amount of money that you spend on satisfying your destructive or sinful natures. Furthermore, avoid investing and spending money on corporations that do not care about life, freedom, or peace, and the environment. In addition, do not spend your money on sinful activities such as gambling, stealing, adultery, pornography, and violent things to watch or use. One of the reasons that you ought to not spend money on sinful activities, because by doing so, you are notifying the universe and God that you want to manifest a hell on earth. Have you ever heard people say it's hell on earth? They know exactly what they're talking about, because humans, mankind, has literally manifested hell on earth. We are living in hell on earth. You ain't got to go to hell to be in hell, because you in it. It's just the hell in the afterlife is worse than this. This is why people commit suicide. This is why these wicked spirits and Satan and all of them are able to be on this earth, because man went in covenant with them. Man gave them consent. Man oath with them. Man made a firmament of a soul tie with them. And man said to them, yes, bring hell on earth. So, being that man gave Lucifer and them permission to bring hell on earth, here comes the demons, the Nephilims, the wicked spirits, the Coonies, all kinds of creations in the astral realm and the astral belts in the universe and other planets and under the earth, which is the nether world. And in the sea, he was able to bring all of this onto the earth because man agreed to bring hell on earth. I don't know about y'all, but that was powerful when Daddy taught me that. Isn't that powerful? Let me see a show of hands. That's powerful because Daddy taught me that. And we hear people say it's hell on earth. They just don't know. It really is. It really is. It really is. And the earth is reacting to letting hell on this earth. The earth is reacting to the sin of man. The earth is reacting to the greediness of man, the evilness of man. Now, when enough men and women make better choices and spend money wisely, the universe will manifest a world filled with life, happiness, prosperity, freedom, and peace. Remember, money is a measurement of choice. You choose how you use your money. Every time you spend money on a product or a service, you are in a way casting a vote, thereby telling the universe that you support that product or service. The universe does not favor a positive vote over negative votes. If you keep voting negative choices by spending money on fake hair, fake weaves, wigs, dyes, perms, gluttony, greediness, gambling, stealing, smoking, fornication, women that ain't worth 2 cents, men that ain't worth 2 cents, harboring your money, being stubborn, using your money for harmful measures, using your money to sacrifice people, and the list goes on and on. Our environment will keep the dead hell on the earth. The universe will not be able to bring life to us. The universe will keep manifesting negative experiences into your life. Christians wonder why they can't get ahead. Christians wonder why they can't get money. Because you spending your money in the wrong places. Instead of you tied in the sewing like you're supposed to be, or helping your neighbors, or helping a stranger, or family members that God deemed you to help, you want to spend your money on a brand spanking new Benz. Or you want to spend your money to go gamble because you think your chances are better to make more money. Or you want to go give your money to some girl you chasing her skirt. Or you want to give some money to some dude because that's the only way that you can keep him. May I go on? May I go on? Giving money to these fake pastors out here, these mega pastors that are devils incarnate, and you casting money into them, and you ain't reaping jack from them, but you defending them. The universe manifests from God. What else? I mean, really, that was a dumb question. Y'all know I'm raw. That was a dumb question. Where else is the universe going to manifest from? God. Who's over the universe? God. Now, I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm raw and I tell it like it is. And when people tell me like it is, I don't get offended because what you give out, you gonna get back. So if somebody tell me something that's not good of me or not right, I ain't gonna get offended. I might get a little upset, but I'm gonna go to God and I'm praying. I'm gonna repent if need be. We gotta suck it up. Now remember these words. Every vote or choice that you make affects your reality and the collective reality of mankind. Because of this, please use money wisely and make better choices. The state of the world and the prosperity of our children and mankind are in our hands. So be the change that the desire that we need for the change. So now we all keep saying we need change. How many of you said how many, even me, how many of y'all have ever said you need to change your life or you need change or you pray to God for change and God is looking at you like, okay, you praying to me for change, but you the one that got the power in your hand to change. You can pray to God all you want about change. Trust me, I know. I've been praying to God for 7 years to change me as far as my eating habits and my way of thinking when it comes to eating. It did not start happening until I made up my mind to surrender my entire will to God. Now, out my mouth, I was saying change me, but in my heart, I was saying, nah, I'll stand the way I am. It's when my heart and my soul manifested together with my mind and said, okay, God, I'm tired of being big. I'm tired of being unhealthy. I'm tired of being out of breath, Daddy. I'm tired of my weight holding me back from going here and going there. Daddy, I give you my will. When I did that, that's when my life changed. That's when my eating changed. That's when I broke loose from the chains of gluttony or greediness. And I got breakthrough. So you are the one that has to change. God can give you the power, He can give you the ability, and He can give you the tools. But you are the one that has to take the ability and take the tools and utilize them and use them to manifest the change that you want in your life. Your words have to change. Because when your words change, your mindset change. The structures of your body change. The way your heart thinks changes. Your spirit gets glorified in God. Your soul becomes whole because you changed your words. You don't curse no more. You don't curse people. You send it back to them. They try to send it to you. You exuberate love because love heals everything. Love conquers all. Love delivers. Love changes. So when you change your words and you change the way you speak, and you start speaking positive words that align with the universe of God and that align with God's kingdom, you will see change into yourself. Why? Because words are life. Word is life. So when you speak words, you speak life. When you speak good words, you speak life. When you speak bad words, you speak death upon yourself. When you let other people speak bad things in your life, when people was mocking me, ridiculing me, scandalizing me, making videos about me, I didn't accept it. I rebuked it. I went against it. So therefore, it did not take me over. And God rose me up more. But if I would have succumbed to the witches, if I would have succumbed to the word, it would have took me over and it would have made me go lower instead of higher. So that's what y'all need to understand. Our words have power. The occult call them word magic. They have learned how to take dead words and make them into magic words for us to use and accept to keep them going. This is why they made English the second language in most countries, because it's hard to do it with foreign languages, but it's easy to do it with English language. All right, so I will teach y'all about debt another day because I'm worn out right now. Father God, give me back all that I just gave your children double fold. Give me back all the oil, energy, tenacity, life force, all that I need double fold in Yeshua's name, sealed with the blood of Yeshua Jesus. All right, guys. So that's what I came on here to teach you guys. Please go to my blog, www.getthatstrue.com, or prophetessrosalindsolomon.blogspot.com, or prophetic mantle, or Rosalind Sounds Facebook and Patreon, and go see those two things I put up. It's about children and it's about communion. It's going to knock your socks off of you. Excuse me. You're welcome. I don't know, lately when I be preaching or teaching, it takes a lot out of me. That's how I know it's God, the Holy Spirit take a lot. And as soon as I get off, he starts to replenish me. So I know when I start going to preaching these churches and stuff, oh gosh, I'm going to have to go sit down after I finish and get replenished. You're welcome. Don't just enjoy it. You better learn it and use it. This teaching is deliverance. It's not for enjoyment. It's for deliverance. Yeah. Y'all, some of y'all know because y'all was on these channels that I was on and people was prophesying saying God was taking me to a new level. A lot of y'all heard that and he's done it. He's doing it. But remember, new level, new devil. Yeah, you do get tired. You do get tired. All right, guys. So I'll see you soon. I'll come back and teach on debt. Um, one day next week, I'm gonna come on here and do a late night to pray for people because I haven't prayed for people in a minute. All right. So I'm gonna put this on YouTube so you don't have to use your data on your phone, and you can go to YouTube and listen to it. And I'm also upload it to Facebook from YouTube, and I'm gonna put it on my blogs because Daddy told me to put these teachers out there on everything. Don't just save them for Periscope. There's some for Periscope, and some I have to share. You get tired. Well, if you get tired on your knees, then sit down on a chair. God don't mind you sitting down on the chair, sweetie. Or if you need to sit on the edge of your bed, God don't mind. You don't got to always get on your knees. It's good to get on your knees because he's our father. But if you get tired and you want to keep praying, sit in your chair. Be like, Daddy, my knees hurt. Or put a pillow under your knees. That's what I do at times. Put a pillow under your knees. You'll be amazed. You put them pillows under your knees, it's gonna feel so much better. But sometimes your knees start cramping. I just said that. So when that happens, get up, go sit in your chair, your reclining chair, or go sit on your bed, or go stand up and look out the window, or if you got a balcony, go on your balcony and talk to God. He don't care if you not on your knees. He don't, as long as you talking to him. As long as you talking to him. Yeah, you use some pillows because I'm not always on my knees. A lot of times I'm sitting right in my reclining chair. I tell you, no lie. I'm sitting right in my reclining chair. Or I'll sit on one of my dining room chairs and I just be talking to Daddy and we be having a good old conversation. I got many revelations from Daddy sitting in my reclining chair. He don't care. He don't care if you don't bow to him all the time. He don't care. Long as you pray and you talk to him, that's what matters to him. Do you think he wants you to be on your knees and be uncomfortable to the point you got to stop praying? No, he wants you to keep praying. So put a pillow under your knees, or if your legs start hurting, get up and sit in the chair, sit on your bed and talk to him. Don't just get up because your knees hurt or your legs hurt and stop talking to him. He looking at you like, what? You can't go sit in a chair and finish talking to me? Well, I pray God deliver her from that demon in Yeshua's name. I pray that. All right, guys. So I'll see y'all soon. So y'all enjoy the rest of your, yeah, you pray in your car, you pray anywhere because God is everywhere. All right. So I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and just to let y'all know, by mid-May or the end of May, I'm gonna have some more oils, but it's different. It's going to be way better than the oils I had before, and they're gonna be in different bottles. Some of the bottles are gonna have jewels on them. Some of the bottles are gonna be like the rainbow color of God's rainbow. Some of them are gonna look like perfume bottles. I'm making them myself. I'm not letting the manufacturer doing it. God said, make them yourself. My kitchen counter is huge. I got a huge kitchen counter. Pat, tell you, Pat was like, this is the biggest kitchen counter I ever seen, right? So I got the seals, I got the equipment, I got everything, and I'm going to make about 70 to 80 bottles, and they're going to be different donation prices. So by mid-May to end of May, I should be done, and I'm going to make a video and show them all to you and let you know the donation form, and they're gonna be just as powerful as the oil that I've been giving out, but even more powerful because I'm making them. Daddy told me I was gonna order some more and have the manufacturer. Daddy was like, "Why don't you do it yourself? You know what to do. You did it before in 2012, and I used to sell the big bottles too. You know back then, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it myself." All right. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your Sunday. Love you. Shalom.